All right, I'm officially recording our first Red Tent Deep Dive Soul Sister group 1-to-1, which is like the biggest. Well, what's the thing called? Like a jumbo shrimp? The thing where it's like it's a thing. What's it called?
Oh, an oxymoron.
Yes, it's the biggest oxymoron, like a group 1-to-1. But I'm like,
Right.
or 1-to-1 group call.
That's funny.
Perfect. So,
Jumbo shrimp.
okay, you guys, we are November 19th, 2019. Amazing. We've got Kim and Tiffany, and then Jessica, who is in the group, and then Kelly, who will be joining us. And like I was just saying, but for recording purposes, we'll see if the universe wants to bring any other soul sisters to the tent. I'm just like so open and grateful and excited about what we have, and we'll see. Like, oh, just the possibilities and the abundance and opportunity are always just so exciting. So that being said, welcome to our first call.
Yay.
Yay. Hello.
Hello.
So excited.
I know. Okay, so I know that, so Kim's at work, Tiffany is at work, but in the car. So everyone, wherever you are, if you can, and Kim's multitasking.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. All right, everyone, take a deep breath and release. We ask that any support that is needed today, any guidance that is needed to come forth, does so in beautiful, amazing, tender, actionable, incredible ways. We trust that we are guided, that we are held, that we are loved. I trust that my coaching will provide exactly what is needed. I trust that the two of you on this call are ready to receive. I trust that whatever is meant to surface in this call will. And so it is. Deep breath. And release. Good. Okay. So what I think is really important for these calls is I love to kind of like give a little ditty, usually at the beginning, and just kind of like set the stage for us. And also in full transparency, share what's going on in my evolution. And then I love to give, this group is intimate enough and small enough that we get to all kind of like be coached and be supported. But I do encourage us to share like something that we're excited about right now, something that we're celebrating, whether that's something new that we're learning, whether that's something that we've done. Yeah, like just like embody celebration and then ask for what you need, right? So it's kind of encompassing all the things that we're learning how to do on a really deep level for all of ourselves individually. Celebration and then asking for what we need. Right? So recognizing and acknowledging like, oh, what are we so excited about? And then also ready for more, right? Thank you. More, please. Thank you. More, please. So I think that the one thing that's coming through for me today is that we get to allow ourselves to feel the full spectrum of emotions. Yesterday I said in a social media post, like, I feel like I've been on a xylophone and it's been tilting back and forth, and it's been going from like one extreme of feeling and emotion, and literally I hear every single ding of every single key as I go to the other side, and then just naturally tilts back up, and then like again hearing every single key. So the most important thing for me right now in all this is that like I literally have given myself the space to feel every emotion on the spectrum. I am not shaming anything. I'm not dulling anything. I am not trying to pretend like this feeling is better than that feeling. We all have feelings that we prefer to feel. We all know that feeling like the joy and the abundance and the deep levels of love, those higher feeling emotions serve us better in terms of functionality, in terms of what we're ready to call in. But also the shadowy stuff, the stuff that kind of feels icky, that's got its place and its purpose too. We don't want to live there. We don't want to hang out there too long, but it's actually nice to have the polarity experience to say, okay, oh yeah, this is what this feels like. And I remember this feeling because it's a pattern and I was triggered. This isn't real, right? And that allows for us to know the depths that we're able to feel, but allow for us to rise out of it way quicker and with way more exuberance and fun. Like I'm at the point now with a lot of like when negative feelings come up, I'm like, oh, huh, that's interesting. And I don't let it take me out the way I used to. I really want to see the data that's around it. I really want to see, where did that come from? What were we talking about? Why did that happen? Because I know the extreme of good that's on the other side of it. And so I appreciate those moments because it's like, oh, all right, cool. Now what? Now what? Let yourself feel it so you can process through the emotion. It's like a cleanse, right? Like we wish the freaking nor'easters would never happen, but guess what happens when a nor'easter comes, right? We all huddle up. We all get that cleansed feeling. It gives us the chance to just reset and rejuvenate. And then on the other side of that, we feel better. So for me, like when negative emotions come up, no matter what they are, it's opportunity to just reset and cleanse and then go on our merry way. So celebrating last week that I was triggered by some old stuff, but I also got to stand in the newest, most pure version of me that is now. And I got to reframe and I got to tweak and I got to allow myself to rise. So that's my celebration and also the invitation to you guys. Like, where are you shaming, where you're not feeling good, where you could just look at it as a learning opportunity and an opportunity to rise into what you know that you truly want. Delicious, huh?
Yeah. So you talked about, resetting and cleansing. How do you reset and cleanse?
I cry.
One. Always a good one.
Always a good one, which this group is very, very good at, right? Like and that's such a gift, but so here's the truth. I have learned that crying for me, I could let my little tears just dabble here and I could let it sit here and I could let it sit on my chest. But I'm like, no, all right, let's move through this. Let's do the thing. So I've actually learned that either texting. So last week, one night, I texted my two best friends saying, I'm about to have a meltdown and I'm just going to type about it and get my feelings out. It was literally allowing myself to just open the floodgates by just typing it out and acknowledging it deeper, right? We can acknowledge it by sitting and being quiet with ourselves. And sometimes that lets the floodgates open, but sometimes there has to be a catalyst to really get us there. So texting it or typing something or writing something or talking about it. I mean, I didn't have anybody available in my home at the time, so I wasn't going to talk about it, but I could text about it or I could journal about it, right? So that gets to be a fun experiment. What are some things you can actively do or not do to allow yourself to just feel the emotion instead of running from it, instead of trying to shove it in the back of your throat? What if you just let yourself fully feel it? That's what I've been really focusing on lately. Okay, if I'm going to cry, I want to freaking cry. Let's do it. So
the crying is the cleanse, and then the reset is okay, and then get back on that horse.
The reset that night was sleep. Because they, my friends were okay, what can you do to support yourself? And so sometimes, let's go do something. Sometimes let's just be. And so I said, no, nothing. I could read right now. I could go take a shower. I'm just going to sleep. So the sleep is the reset. So it sounds really basic, but how often when we feel the tears coming, do we try to stifle them down? Right? Or pretend they don't, because we don't have time or we don't want to mess up the mascara or whatever it is. But I've been practicing if I'm going to cry, I'm going to cry. And then I really want to let pure rest take over. So I slept and I resetted, and that felt great. Other ways, baths are amazing. So actually taking a bath and submerging yourself in water to cleanse, super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
The reset after that is the drying, actually, is the drying off, is the is the moisturizer that you put on afterwards, whatever it is. So usually after we cleanse, there's a natural resetting time. So just playing with what works for you. Sometimes a cleanse is going for a walk. Sometimes a cleanse is sitting down to meditate. Sometimes it's saging or Palo Santoing, right? But there's usually a natural reset after a cleanse.
Okay, that's helpful.
I would just say, you know, if there's one thing that I feel like in this group we could learn and embody even deeper, it's like go all the way with it.
Mm-hmm.
Go all the way with the feeling.
Right.
Take it to the polarity, take it to the extreme so that you can find where you feel the very best within that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's exploratory, right? Like get your magnifying glass out and explore what feels really good, even in the yucky emotions. Like it felt really good to like actively like do the, right? Like that sob of cry.
Mm-hmm.
Good to do that. I was just with the feeling. I wasn't shaming the feeling.
Okay.
And it felt good, even though it was a bad emotion, what we've deemed bad. So I think that's the general, like permission, give yourself permission to feel all the feelings. Recognize the ones that you don't want to live in and allow yourself to just go all in there so you can get out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. The sooner you're done with it, the better.
Yeah. And also we naturally want to hold a higher vibration anyway. So that's why we say like, hold on to that. If you're feeling positive, hold on, like sink into that for as long as you can. We don't want to like pretend like the negative emotions aren't there. We also don't want to live in them. We want to live in those higher emotions. So let's let ourselves feel the whole cyclicality. And also, where during the month do you have those more tender feeling days? I will tell you. So today's the 19th. This, for me, it was actually, in terms of my cyclicality, about 3-ish days. So any major moon phase, usually you can feel the energy about 3 days before and 3 days after. And that's actually the ones that we typically hear about, like the new moon, first quarter moon, full moon, third quarter moon. Those are the doing. Those are the waxing energy. So we can feel that. But in between is the waning energies of the moon. And stuff's happening there too. So allowing ourselves to know that like we have a certain time of the month maybe where we feel a little bit more tender. Mine usually happens around the 10th of the month. So some months I could have a meltdown on the 7th. Some it could be the 13th, right? Or somewhere around there. But I just know generally that's my tender time of the month. Now, I'm not like walking around saying, oh my gosh, I'm really fragile this time of the month. But what I do is say, okay, what are some supportive activities? Last week, I actually didn't have very many calls. I wanted to have a quieter week for me. And I planned that out to be really supportive so I could be a little bit quieter. And also, it allows for me to know, like, okay, if I have a big, like, energy output moment, how can I support myself before and after, right? I'm not walking around pretending like I'm a fragile, breakable human during this time of the month. Like, I'm still functioning, but learning how to function in ways that even more support me. Cool?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Do either one of you have to be off at a specific time? Okay, because I wanted to make sure it's just whoever goes first. Kim, did you see my post for Rebels for Joy this morning?
No, because I didn't get up soon enough.
No, it's flamingos. So I'm like looking at the flamingo over your shoulder. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's our Instagram post. It's a really good one too. So I'm just laughing.
That's why I can't log on to Instagram while I'm at school because they have it blocked.
Probably for good reason.
Yeah.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I started, well, let's see, what am I celebrating? I'm celebrating that I was supposed to take my first class for my nail tech license last Monday. And it just didn't end up happening. She didn't have a lot of my supplies in, my textbooks weren't in. So we put it off until yesterday, and I went down. My textbooks still weren't in, and some of the supplies had come in, but not all of them. She got the rest of them today, but we went ahead and did a class where I worked on like doing nail art. So we used like fake nails. They call them like nail pops. So it's like a stick that has like a fake nail on it. And we did designs where like I got to try out the airbrush. I did some stamping designs. I did some, and I also did some hand painting designs too. So, and I had done some at home the night before with regular polish. She was teaching me how to use the gel polish, which I've used before, but I haven't done stamping on it. And I was sometimes successful, sometimes not, but I'm going to go home after my massage tonight and work on that some more. And so I really enjoyed it. I'm like so super excited. She's excited to have me there. You know, I think it's going to really be a neat like teamwork. So that's what I'm just like totally excited about this. I have homework. I have to make 25 different nail art designs by next week.
What are you going to do?
Like, cool. So sometimes it's just like painting the nail like a base coat, like a colored base coat, and then taking a stamp and stamping the image in nail polish. So there's a plate that's like a cut plate with a design in it. It's like a steel plate. And you put the nail polish on it and you kind of squeegee it off so it's only in the design. Then you take a like a rubber stamper, a smooth pad, and then put that in the design, pull it off, and then stamp it onto the nail. And so then you have this like look of a stamped nail.
That's so cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think I like the like the freehand painted designs better. I didn't really like playing with the airbrush, but I think it's just going to take practice and playing with it more, finding the, you know, what works. But I'm really not getting upset if I don't know how to do something. You know, if it's not coming easily, I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'll do another one. I'll do another one.
And it's 8 months, you said, of training?
Yeah, so the earliest I can get my manicurist license is 8 months.
Nice.
From the time I started. So yesterday being my first class, 8 months from yesterday. Cool. And I have to have 600 hours. So most of the hours are like practice, hands-on time. And she will let me do that practice at home as long as I document, like taking pictures. And showing what I've done. She'll let me do that at home as well as in her shop.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Oh, well, and I'm celebrating the fact that you have not only do you have homework to look forward to, but you have a massage to actually take care of yourself before the homework. That's huge celebration. Yeah.
I found this woman who does targeted point therapy or something like that. Anyway, it's like, you know, pushing on like certain areas. It's not like the traditional like Swedish massage where you just go all over body massage where you're getting relaxed. It's definitely targeted areas. And I come out of there not feeling super relaxed, but the next day I'm like, oh yeah, this feels so much better because my muscles are just like so tight these days. Yeah. And I'm not sure why, but it's just a lot of like, I gotta get out of my system. And maybe I need to start working out again and moving more. But I do like to dance when I'm making dinner. So
awesome. Good. One thing at a time, but good. Yeah. Good. You're taking care of a lot. Where can I support you today?
Today, I don't know. Send me your nails. I want all the nails.
They actually look good. I just got them done.
Like I want all the nails so I can practice. My sons both have girlfriends, and they're like, my one was already asking, "Do you do acrylics already, Mom?" Like, no, not yet. I wouldn't want to put that on anybody yet. I'm not really sure how to do that. Yeah. I've watched enough videos, so I understand the process of it, but there's definitely a technique of doing it. So I'm so excited about learning this, and I really feel like I haven't been excited about something like this that I know is just for me. It's
Yeah.
not expected of me. And I think that's been the big thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's this is something that it's like totally whoop, out in left field that I've never, you know, have ever really, well, I've thought of it, but would not have done it before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What's coming up like in your body, like physically, like as you're processing this excitement, as you are kind of standing in this, like, nobody expected this of me and I'm doing it anyway. Like, what are some of the stories that you're really saying? What's happening within you to really help yourself embody this?
well, I think the story that I'm mainly releasing is that it's not a valuable job. It's not, you know, why the story of you you got your bachelor's, you got your teaching certification, you have your master's, and you're going to take a pay cut to do this type of thing. And why would you do that? You know, you're so much better than that. But it's like, no, this is better.
Yeah.
This is better for my heart. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing my mom and my sister at Thanksgiving. I know my sister will support me 100% because she's very artistic too. But my mom was always the one who said, you know, why would you do something like that? You know, no, she's not going to do that. She's a teacher.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to tell her how excited I am and for her to see the excitement. I know ultimately that she will support me. And I know that what she said years ago was not meant as harmful.
No.
But it, you know, it hurt, you know, you know, in my mind, it's like, I never wanted to disappoint my mom.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she, as an adult, definitely old enough to know better, you know, I've let that, like, oh, I don't want to disappoint my mom, kind of control a lot of things that I've done in my life as as a grown woman. So it's nice to be able to be like, yeah, I don't care if she doesn't think it's a bad thing, because I do think it's an amazing thing. And everybody I've talked to about it, they're like, oh my God, that sounds like so much fun. That is so different from anything you've ever done. And how like cool to do something that's totally different.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
What? I'm just thinking about a couple different things, like underneath it all, right? So like, you're a teacher, but you help shape the lives of children, right? Like there's always like that deeper underlying message. Have you thought and like sunk into like, what's the deeper underlying? Cause like, yeah, like you are adding so much value to your life, the lives of others, and the whole world, right? When we sink in and we do the thing that lights us up, it lights up, we do our part in lighting up the world. Like that's part of it. So what is like that deeper underlying connection that it's like, this is why I'm doing this?
That's a good one. I'm not really sure I know the connection for that one right now, other than maybe, well, when we were at True You Live and we did the Kundalini in the morning, and we did the last one, that was the one that has the warning. What I was thinking of was, I want to be able to help women. And this had already been, I'd already talked about it. But then it just kind of like to the side of the head. Oh, this could help women somehow. Like, you know, maybe, and I'm not really sure how it's going to. You know, I thought, oh, well, I could maybe do like some mobile thing, or go to senior centers and give manicures there, or do something at like women's support centers, you know, where women who are, who've been in abusive relationships and stuff like that go. I don't know.
It's so powerful. I think it's actually really fun and exciting that you don't have like the completion to that sentence, because it's a sentence in and of itself, right? I want to help women. Boom, period. End of sentence. But also it could be, I want to help women too. I want to help women embody. I want to help women feel, right? Like you can
Mhm.
continue that sentence. What is feeling really, really like on point and just so aligned for me is that you don't have the answer to that, but you're trusting that this is the path to getting there. You don't need
Yeah.
to see the finish line right now. You don't have to finish the sentence right now. In fact, I think by doing this and playing here and participating in this and allowing the experiences that you're going to call into yourself by way of doing this, allowing them to finish the sentence for you, but just
Mhm.
trust, like you are trusting, like solar plexus is like leading the way and you're
Mhm.
trusting your instinct, like this matters and this is exciting and this is fulfilling and I don't need to have a deeper underlying reason. I know one's there, but I don't have to even articulate it yet. I just trust that I am going to help women and this gets to be a beautiful part of the journey.
Yeah.
That feels really good.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I think one of the things that's come up to me that keeps like popping up in my brain is that I have finally gotten to the point where I don't need to know like what is the next step? What is the next step?
Mhm.
I've always kind of felt like and up until the last year even that I need to, okay, if I'm going to an event, what's the schedule? What is this? What is it? When is it getting out? What's happening? When is it happening? Who's coming? Blah 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 blah. I need to like
Mhm.
have the whole schedule in front of me and know that. And I don't really need to know that now, because I know what comes. When it comes, it will be what I need.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's how I want to put it.
Yeah,
So.
that's beautiful. I just had the thought like it would be really cool if you kept a little journal or something
Mm.
specifically for like, how did I help women today?
Oh yeah.
Right. And kind of just collect the data, right? Like some days you helped someone feel really beautiful. Some days you helped someone process through something as she sat in your chair, right? Like there's just so many unlimited options, but like it would be really cool for you to kind of like keep this book of like, here's how I helped women today.
Yep.
You're going to learn a lot of lessons from this and you're going to see a lot of patterns from this. I feel you like sinking into divine feminine in ways that we don't even have words for yet.
Mm-hmm.
And like, like this is really exciting.
Right. Yeah. I've been giddy. I feel like I've been, it's almost like, when you're a little kid and your birthday's coming and you're super
Mhm.
excited, like it's in
Yeah.
your pants. And
Yeah.
it's like, ever since I decided to make this choice,
Yeah.
it's been, even the days that I'm not working on, something nail related,
Yeah.
I'm still like super excited about it. And like, I can't wait to get my textbook.
Yeah.
Who says that?
I know. It's so fun.
I can't wait to get my tests. I can't wait to do this. It's like, all right, I really want to like dive in and I've dove in before,
Yeah.
both feet with stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't felt like, that it's been really diving in all the way,
Right. Right.
Like I'm still holding on to the side.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
So
always
I'm
been
like,
like
the
that
side of the
level.
pool
Yeah.
is nowhere near.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm celebrating you so much. And I'm just so
Yay.
excited to see like what's going to pop up for you in terms of learning opportunities and growth opportunities. Like, but yeah, you don't need to know it all. Like you
Yeah.
literally are learning how to trust yourself on a deeper
Mhm.
level right now. And that means everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And not having to like have everything all at the beginning. Because whenever I'd think of like starting a job, I'd be like, okay, what are the things I need? I'm like, oh, okay, I need blah, 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 blah. Oh, I got to buy it right now. No, I don't.
No. No.
I don't.
Oh,
That's
so
all good. So that your suggestion, you asked me for what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Your suggestion for keeping the journal of how to help women was what I needed.
Yeah. I think
Didn't
it's
know
great.
it,
Yeah.
but that's what I needed.
Thank you, Spirit
'Cause
Team.
I really like that.
I think that's really powerful. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my head's running wild with like all the things that you could do with that too. But for now, you just let it be. You let it be. Right?
Yep.
Awesome. Anything else?
Nope.
So
I'm all
good.
good. Yay.
So good. Yay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Woo.
you.
Yay. All right, Tiffany, you're up, girlfriend. Hold on, you're muted.
There we go.
There you go.
I'm unmuted now. So I think the thing that I'm celebrating is yesterday I was able to work from home and had like a couple of things that sort of were like internal deadlines that I had set.
Mhm.
And I actually like got a lot of stuff done, but I didn't get to like I didn't get to finish these two things that I wanted to. And I also said like I'm gonna go and have dinner with Elliot tonight. Like I'm gonna stop working. I'm not gonna work till 7. I'm gonna go have dinner. So I did that. And then I thought like, oh, maybe I'll do some work when Maggie goes to sleep, or maybe I'll like wake up early. And then I was just tired. It's kind of beat. I'm still kind of tired today. I don't know if it's the weather or like what it is, but so I just didn't do the two things, like fine. And then this morning, so I had this meeting, not meeting, I don't know, I went to a talk this morning and I was seeing a former client and we were supposed to get together afterwards to talk about this presentation that we're doing together in a couple weeks. And I have a pen that's like bleeding all over someplace. Now it's all over my hand. That's funny.
What is that symbolic of?
My pink pen. It's all over. I'm gonna stick it in the banana peel. So I was thinking about all the things I could say to her. Like, do I tell her I need to run out because I have like this client, another client meeting, or like, what do I say to her? And it's somebody that I have like a really nice relationship with. And so I just thought like, what if you just told her the truth that like you're overwhelmed, you didn't get to it, like apologize, whatever. And we had like a very sweet moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was just a big step for me to be honest with her and tell her that I wasn't able to do the thing that I said I would do. And she was so lovely about it. Like she was like, don't apologize. Like, what can I do to help so we can, like, what can I do?
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm celebrating that like radical, I don't know, transparency, vulnerability, just like saying like, look, I wasn't able to do this thing. Like I'm overwhelmed right now. So that was really like a nice moment.
Yeah. What do you feel like you were able to kind of heal for yourself a little bit with that truth?
I think the fact that like it's just like it is okay. Like I think I sort of felt like I still thought it was bad that I didn't do this thing that I said I was gonna do. And then like in us having the conversation, I sort of was like, oh, it's like really, it's really is okay that I didn't do this thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it didn't really need to be done.
Yeah.
And I didn't really I didn't hurt or upset her.
I think the thing that I'm hearing too is like, you're really learning how to discern really well in terms of like, okay, didn't do this thing. It really didn't need to be done. Like it's
Right.
actually okay. Like learning discernment in terms of like what we give energy to, right? What we give our focus and attention to. You're learning that in so many areas of life, but it's like we forget that like that even counts in the little moments, right? Because like a year from now, are you going to remember this tiny work thing that didn't get done? Like, no, like it's small and insignificant. Right now it feels like it matters, but that's just because you're learning it on a deeper level in a lot of areas of life. And so this level of discernment that you're doing, it's like, okay, my time is my most precious resource. Like what I give my attention to means the world to me because it literally makes up my life, right?
Yep.
So you discerned that going on a date with Elliot was more important than doing these things, and nobody died, right? Like, no, like it's okay. And for me, it's not with that's not like a self-sabotaging, like, oh, I didn't do something, so I suck. That's just you're learning like what matters and what doesn't matter. Now, do we have things for work that like, yeah, we got to do? Of course we do. But like also the to-do list is still going to be there tomorrow.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So really standing for and standing in what you want to give your time to is so, 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 so important.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just had this moment. I don't know if it was over the weekend, and I forget what triggered it, but I felt like I was really not like present with something later. Like, I don't know. I can't even remember what it was, but I just had this moment where I was like, oh, like I don't want Elliot to ever think that I'm like taking him for granted. You know, like I just sort of had that realization, like that can happen so easily, I think, in relationships. So just like being really mindful of that.
Yeah. Well, and like amazing, right? And it's so cool how like the newer relationships that we have help us to realize that for like how that's showing up in other areas, relationship with your daughter, relationship with friends, relationship with yourself, right? Like where are you distracting yourself from really having a relationship with you?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
It's amazing how, because everything is a mirror, everything is a reflection. So to me, like what an amazing gift you gave yourself by having like that, oh, like I don't want him to feel that way. It's like, oh, wouldn't that be awesome if we felt that about us? Like, oh, I don't want myself to feel that way about me.
Right.
And that's the deeper level that you're learning now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just learning like in terms of intellectual, but like embodiment.
Yeah.
That's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you need support? Because that was your celebration.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think I still really need to like make more time. I need to rest more.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Coaching.
And so and so like Sunday I had this like day where I like needed to do some raking, but also like it was kind of a wide open day a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like really hard for me. Like didn't I don't know. I like didn't really want to rake, so I kind of procrastinated a little bit on that. And didn't at the end of the day felt like I didn't get the raking done. I didn't really spend that much time with Maggie. Like I didn't relax, like I didn't rest, I didn't do any of that. Like it just sort of felt like a weird day.
Yeah.
And so afterwards I was like, all right, I'm gonna like pay somebody to rake my leaves next year. Like this is stupid.
Yeah.
Because I just like it would have been worth the whatever money to pay somebody for me to not be thinking about this like 3 Sundays in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so many different things are popping up right now. So number one, I think it's Dr. Wayne Dyer who says like, did we have this conversation? We only have 100% capacity during the day.
Yeah.
And so when we let little energies leak out in terms of thoughts, thinking about things that we don't want to or should do or can't do or whatever, that's literally leaking energy, right? So you spend so much of your day on Sunday leaking out percentages of energy when you already have energy that's being spent on other things already, like just at a foundation level. So say those take up 50% of your energy, and then all day you're letting 29% of your energy leak out because you're not raking, but you should be raking, and somebody else could be raking, right? So that's the first thing that's like, okay, cool lesson learned, right? Like, where can I be discerning with my energy? Right? If I have 100% every single day, and I know on a base level, 50% is going to my kid, my job, traffic, whatever it is, then like that leaves me with 50%. How do I want to use the remainder of that?
Yeah.
Right? So that was coming up. And then also, you were talking about, as you were saying that, it's like, where can you just go instead of trying to multitask and do all the things? Where can you go 100% with one thing, right? Like go 100% into raking or 100% into resting. I read something, I don't remember where this is from, but we think that 99% is fine. Like we're like, cool, I'm like 90% in. But the problem with that, it's the same thing with the energy leak. If we're 99% committed to something, there's that 1% wiggle room that gives us the out. That's what takes us out every single time. Because it's in that 1% of like, oh, if I'm 99% committed to eating a certain way, right? Well, then there's that 1% that's going to be like, oh, but you're not 100% committed. You could have that donut, or you could, the jelly beans, whatever it is. And you spend so much time thinking about the 1%, right? So if you're 99% committed to resting, then that 1% is going to be like, you don't need to do that right now. Or who do you think you are to rest? You should go rake. Or like that 1% takes up more of our energy than the other 99% do. Think about something that you are 100% committed to. Like me, I'm 100% committed to not smoking a cigarette. I don't ever think about smoking a cigarette, right? But if I'm 99% committed to it, I might be thinking, like, is today the day? Is today the day that I'm actually going to smoke a cigarette, right? Like that 1% always keeps it alive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to rest, what if you gave yourself full permission? And this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Go all in. Be 100% committed to resting for a day. What does that look like? Are you going to lay on your bed? Are you going to lay on your couch? Are you going to do some light stretching and then watch a movie? Like, what does that look like? But like, go all in with that. Because then that allows for us to be fully present with what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you can even, it doesn't even have to be a full day. I'm going to be 100% committed. I did this last week, actually. It was Friday. And I was exhausted. Like after going through the emotional roller coaster that I had, I was so tired on Friday. Andrew wasn't feeling good. Things were bananas. I had an hour and 20 minutes between getting home from grocery shopping when Andrew actually fell asleep and Cameron getting home. I was 100% committed to laying down and trying to sleep. So I set my alarm, which I never set an alarm because I'm like, all right, team, like wake me up when I need to be woken up. But for a nap, because that's not my norm, I set an alarm so I could get downstairs for when Cameron got home. And I put on meditation music so I couldn't be distracted by my phone because I knew the music would turn off on YouTube if I touched my phone. So I did the things because I was 100% committed to freaking taking a nap. And it was only an hour, right? And I went to a hockey game later that night, right? Like I wasn't committed to resting the entire day, but I was committed to it for that little while.
Yeah.
And it's like, it helps you to break things up too, so that it doesn't get monotonous.
Yeah.
And one more. So you know how they always say, like, if you want something done, give it to a busy person, right? Because the busy person is like, and Tiff, like you and I and Kim, you too, like we've used this as a weapon against ourselves because it's one more thing. Of course I can do it. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can. But if we use that mindfully, right? Yeah, we can get a lot done because it's the inertia, right? We're already in movement. An object in movement is going to stay in motion or whatever it is. So we get to use that to our advantage. So using the 100% all-in mentality on days that you don't have a million things to do, and you could spend some of the day resting and you could spend some of the day raking, it helps for you to like put in those stop times so that you're checking in with yourself, so that it's not just like one of those days that you float off to Pluto and you're like, where did the day go? Right?
Yep.
Lots of little nuggets came through on that one.
Yeah, because even like one of the things that I didn't get to do yesterday, I like really don't want to do it. I'm like annoyed that I have to do it.
Yeah.
And I should just, it probably could be done if I just said like, I'm just going to sit for this hour and like you said, be all in on it and like give it a deadline and just be done with it.
Yeah. If it's like one of the things that only you can do. So like Give it a deadline. Mel Robbins, have you ever read the 5-second rule?
Mm-mm.
So it's an interesting book. It's really good. So her rule is, and it's based on like, she's got a really cool story behind it, but giving yourself a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and then go and do the thing, but like do it in that second. You have to do it when you say go. It's like if you hit the alarm clock, you literally stunt so much, or if you hit the snooze button, you stunt so much for yourself, because then you have to restart the process, and then you've proven to yourself that you don't have to, so it becomes harder and harder,
Right.
until you guilt yourself, or it's like, fuck, I gotta go, right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and you go. But
Yep.
she actually said something, and I feel like I'd heard it before, and I forget what the law is, but basically, no matter how much time you give to something, you'll take that time. So if you have a deadline that is due in 2 weeks, you'll take the 2 weeks. If that deadline is suddenly due by 2:00 this afternoon, it doesn't matter what else is going on. You're going to get it done within that time frame. So if it's something that only you can do, give yourself a time, but give yourself minimal time. Like, all right, for crying out loud, I'm sitting down for 20 minutes. I will give this my full attention for 20 minutes, and then it's done. I promise myself it'll be done. Or if it's something like you said about the raking, like, can I just pay someone else to do this? Like, can I literally go on Fiverr.com and find someone else that I can pay $5 to do this? Then do that.
Yeah.
Right? But instead of saying, okay, like, it doesn't really have to be done, and I'm going to let myself stew on it for a month, and then that's going to, it takes your energy.
Yeah.
This is so good, Tiff. It's all about energy discernment. It's all about allowing yourself to get really clear on what you want, and then where you want to spend your energy.
Yep.
So when are you going to do that thing?
There's like 2 parts to it, and I think I have like enough time when we hang up to do the first thing before my next meeting.
Cool.
And that'll be good for today. Yeah, and I can do the second part tomorrow.
Great.
Yeah.
Then come Thursday, you don't have to think about the thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That feels good.
Yeah.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, I'll feel better like once I do the thing.
How can you feel good now?
I think part of me is still like a little bit, so this is like the second thing that I didn't get done yesterday. And so I think part of me is still like a little bit like, wanting to shame myself over not having already done it.
So remember we talked about like, this is the part that I shame myself. Right?
That's right.
So
where did I write that down?
I don't know. Tiffany and I were talking about like, as you're playing out old patterns and as like you're going through the cycle, it's like, oh, this is the part that I get really angry at myself for not doing the thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or, oh, this is the part that I sabotage because I don't feel worthy. But then, so we say, this is the part, but I choose not to play that part today.
Yeah.
So this is the part that I usually do this.
Yep.
I'm not going to play that role today. Instead, I'm going to celebrate that I showed up in this call. I learned how to embody discernment deeper. And I'm going to get this done. I'm going to be really grateful that I'm going to get this done. And you get to be really grateful for you and all that you're doing now.
Yeah.
Because also, okay, this is the part that I want to shame myself for not doing those 2 things, but also I had a really great time with Elliot last night.
Yeah.
It's really fun. This is the part that I want to shame myself, but when I remember the joy that was created from the decision I make, I'm not shaming myself over that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Delicious.
I want to write that down.
I know. Giving you space too. anything else?
I don't think so.
Kim, anything else from you?
Nope, I'm all good.
All right. Let's take one inhale. And release. I invite you both to get off this call and set your intention for the next thing you get to do, and allowing for yourself to be with yourself the entire way through. Okay. Beautiful. All right.
Awesome. Thank you,
Lean
Joanne.
in. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Lean into the group.
Mhm.
If you feel like you could use some additional soul sister support, lean into me, lean into you. I'm so proud of you guys. You've got this. Have a great day.
Thank you. You
Bye.
too.
Bye. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.